Hello, everybody. This is Yogi for day 22. It is 22, day 22 of the 30-day video challenge I'm doing this June. And today I want to talk about in defense of rote learning. What is rote learning? So, rote learning is this memorization technique based on repetition. You just repeat things without really understanding it. You just memorize things. And I want to talk about how usually this technique is discouraged. It's supposed to be a bad technique to learn, but I want to give some instances where this actually is very useful. This technique is discouraged especially in the area of mathematics, science like physics and organic chemistry. These things are just, rote learning is really looked down upon because all these disciplines tend to be very logical and also very sequentially, one step follows another. So we tend to think, no, rote learning is bad when it comes to math and science and physics. But I want to argue against that today. First of all, I want to talk about how rote learning is very useful in some related disciplines of learning. Imagine always referring to a dictionary every time you read a word while reading a book. That won't be fun at all. But remembering the meanings of words, the vocabulary and grammar, that is rote learning in the real definition of the word or definition of the phrase. Another example is, imagine reading musical notation and musical notes one at a time while playing piano. That won't be fun because we won't be able to play quickly enough to be able to read one at a time. We learn to read musical phrases and just in a sense get a whole bunch of inputs at a time, kind of memorize it short bursts at a time and just play it instead of understanding each note one at a time. Even in the area of mathematics, when we see a number, for example 76 written on a page, we don't view it as, oh, 7 times 10 plus 6, oh, it's 76. We just see 76 and we understand what 76 is, how big it is. Imagine reading a number like 11,732,706. When we see that big number on the screen or on a piece of paper, we have to process. We haven't memorized what that number really means. But numbers up to 100 or maybe even 1,000, we intuitively have memorized what the meaning of those numbers is. So even in mathematics and the other examples I gave, music and reading, literature and language, we do rote learning and memorize without really understanding. We memorize things, the basic things very, very well. Now that I have talked about the importance of rote learning in some disciplines to be good on those disciplines, I want to talk about another place that rote learning belongs, and that is controversially the area of mathematics. The basic math, I think rote learning belongs there. I have seen many people, if you ask them what is 7 plus 8, the answer 15 doesn't come easily. They have to kind of count, okay, 8 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and that's 15. But I'm asking For small problems, just remembering the answers and rote learning the answer is actually very, very useful to be comfortable in mathematics. And I'm going to give very minimal kind of rote learning that you would need to do to be able to do good in mathematics. And these are: number one, be able to add two numbers and both numbers are less than 10. So there are about 45 such combinations. One number is less than 10 and second number is also less than 10. So what is 9 plus 3? The answer should be rote learned, like memorize is 12. One doesn't have to calculate in head. Second rote learning exercise is to learn how to subtract two numbers where both numbers are less than 10. So what is 9 minus 2 is 7 without even thinking about it. Or what is 2 minus 7? So if one first is smaller than the other, then you do the other way. So 7 minus 2, the 5, and the answer is minus 5. So 2 minus 7 is minus 5. So that's in your head without thinking about, without calculating. The third rote learning exercise is to be able to multiply two numbers, both numbers are less than 10. Again, these are about 45 such combinations. For example, if you ask me what is 3 times 9, that's 27 without doing addition. It's not 9 plus 9 plus 9. You don't do that addition. It's 3 times 9 is 27. Or 7 times 6 is 42, for example. And these are also these are called multiplication tables also, up to 10. So if you remember these numbers, just adding two numbers that are less than 10, subtracting two numbers that are less than 10, and multiplying two numbers that are less than 10, that will help us tremendously to do more useful and a lot more complex algebra in our head instead of relying on calculator or our phones. I want to teach in a later video how to do basic manipulation, like if you ask me what is 28 times 28, be able to do it quickly in your head if you know the addition, subtraction, multiplication when the numbers are less than 10. So these three rote learning exercise that I talk about, if you know those, then doing this complex calculation is actually quite easy. Or if I give $10 to a cashier and I bought something worth $2.65, how much I get back. Being able to do that in your head is also very easy if you know the simple addition, subtraction, multiplication when numbers are less than 10. So this is for later. I want to talk about that. I would love to see people more comfortable doing these basic day-to-day mathematical calculations in their head instead of relying on calculator or their phones, or even worse, freaking out about them. I teach in some after-school programs, and just kids, when they listen to this possibility of adding, multiplying, and doing calculation, it's a panic mode sometimes sets in. And I've seen for many people that panic mode sets in. I would love to help people be comfortable with the basic mathematics. So that is my goal. This will come in some later video. But today I wanted to talk about the importance of rote learning in doing basic mathematics and basic manipulation, basic algebra. That is all I have for today. If you get a chance, try to just learn, just memorize what the addition of two numbers less than 10 is, what the subtraction of two numbers both less than 10 is, and what the multiplication. So there's not a lot of information. If you practice it for a few days, that should get you there. And I hope you give it a shot and follow up on a different video. That is all I have for today. I look forward to talking more later. Adios. Bye bye.